Hello guys, and welcome to this video to learn how to publish your own case report, okay? So maybe you are in your dental clinic, you are having a lot of nice cases, and then you think that one of your cases is valuable for the literature, for your friends, okay? And this may happen during your career, and even without being an academic, you feel that you could contribute to the literature and publishing a case report article. Okay, so how to do that? And it's actually not complicated, but of course you need to have a level of scientific writing, and especially in the English language, because you want to aim to an international article, to an international journal. Okay. Now, there are 5 points that I want to make sure that you guys know. So without further ado, let's review those 5 points, okay? So make sure your case has originality, okay? So maybe if there is a technique that everyone does, for example, then, even if you have a very nice case, well, maybe you have a very nice outcome, a different aesthetic perspective and everything, and it's still publishable. But if the technique is very common and it's not original, then the chances are a little bit lower, okay? So originality in respect to the technique, in relation to the technique mostly, right? So the technique, and of course, not only the technique, okay? In relation to the outcome as well, okay? So in relation to the outcome, okay? So this is very important. Now, number 2 is also a very important aspect that your case needs to have, and that's a good documentation, okay? So do you have pictures of this case? So you need to have nice photographs of your case, or even occlusal photographs. If it's aesthetic area, then of course you need the highest smile line. Then you need smile pictures of the patient. You need pictures from other angles as well. The profile of the patient sometimes is very important. Then if it's a case of a surgery, then of course you want also maybe to show the CBCT, the tomography, the intraoral scans if it's digital workflow, okay, the pictures of surgeries, for example, so intrasurgical photographs, okay, and then photographs of the outcome, of course, right? So how the dental prosthesis ended up, or how the diagnosis was defined, or how the case was actually solved. So those are the things that you want to document properly, okay? Now, the number 3 is also very important. Your case needs to have clinical relevance. So why is this important for the literature? Ask yourself the question, okay? Maybe your approach would be useful for clinics with a lot of patients, with a very high flow of patients. Maybe it's a different approach that saves time from the dental professional. So it's still valuable, okay? So let's see the number 4. We need to choose a good scientific journal for it, okay? And then which is the best journal? You need to learn that the scientific journals, they have different purposes, okay? So they have different scopes. If your case is about dental implants, for example, but involving aesthetics, then you can choose a journal dedicated to aesthetic dentistry or a journal dedicated to implant dentistry, okay? How to make sure? You go to the website of the journal and then you check the scope of this journal, okay? It's always one of the links in the website of the journal, okay? And then the fifth item is to respect the guidelines of this journal. And don't forget that if you are showing data of the patient, then the patient needs to have signed and informed consent, okay? So especially if you are showing identifiable data of the patient, okay, so if the patient can be identified, then it's a different situation. The journal will require you to show a form signed by the patient with the permission to show these pictures that identifies the patient, okay? So if it's a study, then it requires ethical approval and everything. If it's just a case report, depends on the country, depends on the guidelines, and depends on the journal guidelines as well. So make sure you go to the website, and then you will make sure that you are respecting all the guidelines, with your patients, with your and with your journal as well, okay? So there are several guidelines, and you are going to find all of them in a link called author information, okay? Even for you to see who you need to add as an author of this article, which is your case report, okay? So how many people helped you, okay, in a significant way, all right? So who are the responsible for the procedures? And that's how you are going to decide properly on how to include your authors, so how to choose who should be included as an author or co-author of your study, and who should be acknowledged as a, just in the acknowledgements section. All right. So here I have one of my case reports, okay, published in a journal that publishes case reports. So this is another thing. You need to see if the journal accepts case reports. And then this is one of the case reports that I have, okay. So you guys can always check and see how I wrote the text and everything. I have also other articles that are open access, so you guys can see the entire PDF, all right. And then you guys can always check how I wrote these articles, okay. It's better if you have someone academic within the team of this case report to help you with the scientific writing, as this is an entire science by itself, okay. So it's not simple at all, right? But if you have a nice case, you should try at least, okay. So write in a very good English, and make sure you document your case properly, okay. So if you guys liked, please hit the like button, and see you guys on the next videos.